everyone, I'm Adrienne Everheart, your dating and relationship coach. Thank you so much for joining me here on YouTube for my whiteboard series. This has been some of my most well-received and well-liked videos. So if you like this series, please give it a thumbs up. Please be sure to subscribe to me. And also, I would love to hear from you in the comments section. So today I'm going to be talking about knowing exactly what to say to a man. YouTube is filled with thousands of videos, usually from male coaches, that tell you how to give some sassy, quick reply to a man no matter what he says. Now, I even have a best-selling book called 500 Ways to Speak to a Man, and it is full of amazing and proven references, scripts, and texts that have been shown to awaken a man to his masculine energy and give you the absolute best chances of being pursued. So we're not talking about just getting a couple of texts back for dating or flirting or something like this. We're talking about what it really takes to establish a loving, long-lasting bond with a man, something that you can really build and grow from. Now, I do work with women who are dating men. I work with women who are married, and it really doesn't matter whether you're dating in a relationship or you're married. Knowing how to speak to your man from a place of feminine energy, which is soft, with warmth, it's also honest, and where you know your boundaries is something all women need to know how to do in any situation. Now, before I get into it, I want to talk a little bit about masculine and feminine energy. I'm just going to give you a quick example to help you understand that you as a woman, you have both feminine and masculine energy. You have both of these energies in you. But often what happens is we get activated in our masculine energy in the relationship with a man, and this just doesn't work very well for a lot of different reasons. You probably already know what those reasons are. But I'm going to kind of sum up the masculine energy versus feminine energy for you in just a cute little story I remember from my childhood. So I remember one day at the swimming pool, my parents dropped me off, and me and one of my girlfriends, we must have been maybe around 10 or 11 years old. We were swimming and we knew how to swim in the deep end. Well, this one boy just latched onto us, and he decided the whole day long he was going to follow us around the pool. But we knew he couldn't swim in the deep end. We knew he wasn't a very good swimmer. And I think he was actually a little bit younger than us, but possibly just shorter. We weren't very impressed with him, and we were just trying to get him off our back. But the whole day, he followed me and my friend in the water, holding on to the edge of the pool, pursuing us around this whole Olympic-sized swimming pool and back around. And I mean, I think we spent all day trying to get this kid to leave us alone. That, my friends, is my best example of masculine and feminine energy. Masculine energy is pursuing. It is in a pursuit. It will stop at nothing to get where it needs to be. This is the difference between the sperm and the egg, even the female egg. So they're two very different energies. I remember even during break time, when everybody had to get out of the pool and take a break, this kid was still eyeing me and my girlfriend, letting him know that at some point during the day he wanted to somehow be with us, hang out with us. I mean, he was still eyeing us from the other side at the picnic tables, and he was still pursuing us. He was not letting us go. Now, the kicker is, on the way home, my friend and I talked, and we were like, oh my gosh, we were like traumatized that this boy was following us around the pool the whole day. My parents just laughed it off. But then we realized, why didn't we talk to this guy? He was kind of cute. Yeah, he was shorter than us, and we weren't really sure which school he was in or who he really was, but we were kind of confused why we didn't go ahead and accept and receive and hang out with him and just see what he had to offer. So again, this is my best example about the differences between feminine and masculine energy. So often the men that are pursuing us, we don't really want. We are we're kind of rejecting them in some way. And then sometimes men pursue us all hot and heavy in the beginning, and we totally give in. And that's another video I'm going to teach you about the slow burn. So now that you've had a refresher on feminine and masculine energy and hopefully a laugh at my childhood story, I'm going to go ahead and tell you how to get in touch with your feelings, how to know exactly what to say to a man, no matter what he asks. And in fact, right before this video, I took a Facebook poll and I asked all my Facebook users and all my Instagram users to say, what has a man asked you that you have trouble and difficulty answering? So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is find your feelings. Now, this may not sound very difficult, right? Just find my feelings. That's so easy. Actually, it's the number one problem I have talking with my female clients, is that they actually can't access their feelings. So I always sum it up that you're finding your feelings in your body as a feminine energy woman. It's very different than when you're in your masculine energy. And I describe it kind of like a parfait. I don't know if you've ever made a beautiful parfait or seen them in restaurants, but they're actually layers of different sorts of dessert and yogurt and things like this. So this is a lot how our emotions work as women. So I've noticed with women, the first layer of the parfait, of the emotional parfait, is usually anger, or feeling some sort of disrespect or violated, or anger or disappointment. You are likely to fall into the anger or disappointment category when you are finding your feelings. That's going to be one of the two. So this is called knowing your reflex, knowing your immediate trigger. So our ego always has that first feeling that you have. But I actually want you to go a little deeper and find your next feeling, okay? And there may even be a feeling after that, and another feeling. And eventually, and this is when I'm in my coaching call with my clients, around here, third or fourth feeling in, sometimes we find tears, and you really start to feel emotional. Because you realize you're feeling abandoned, you're feeling scared, you're feeling unloved. Aha! We are now at the truth of your feelings. But it requires you going just a little bit deeper and not immediately latching on to that first or second feeling you have. So it just takes a little bit of riffing, which is where you notice how you're feeling. I love the part of me that's feeling angry. And you continue on to the next feeling. You see what else is coming up inside of you, okay? Now, number 2 is you find what you're feeling and you spin it to warmth. Now, this one is so important because I want you to spin whatever you're feeling to some sort of warmth. Now, how are you going to do this? Don't worry, I'm going to show you how. But it's important to know that what you're feeling, you spin it to warmth. Right? And then number 3, know your boundaries. Know your boundaries. So often with my clients, I've told them, I've made recommendations for them to sometimes date men that they aren't necessarily their type. That doesn't mean you keep dating him after he sent you rude messages and he's been weird to you. You know your boundaries. You know when you're going to sleep with a man. You know how far you're going to go in bed. You're going to know if you're willing to hear about his ex-wife or his ex-girlfriend for hours. Know your boundaries. So let's use an example I had from a client of mine who a man on the very first date asked her to come back over to his place, and she was pretty sure he meant for sex. So the first step is to find your feelings. Do you feel good, bad, happy, sad that he wants to invite you back over to his place on the first date? My client happened to feel weird. She felt weird about it. She didn't feel comfortable that he was already asking her back to his place on the first date. All right? Now, we're going to spin it to warmth. What is the opposite of weird and uncomfortable? What is the opposite of that? That would be comfortable. Okay, so remember that. Now next, we're going to know your boundaries. Do you want to go to this man's house? Yes or no? If it's a no, I don't go back to a guy's house I just met on the first date, then that is your boundary. Stick to it. Now, one part of you might want to go back to his house. Another part of you knows you better not. So that's also knowing your boundary. You feel what you feel. You're aware of it has a dual side to it, and you're able to speak both of them. So here's the answer I offered for my client. I'm flattered and it feels good to be invited. Yet I'd feel comfortable with that once we get to know one another better. So here's my boundary. I feel flattered, and I would like that once we get to know one another better. That's so much more than I feel weird. I don't know what to say. I'm just going to shut down. I'm not sleeping with you. You see how it is so different. All right, so let's use some of my other requests I had on Facebook today. I'm going to use the same formula and show you how to do it. So over at Love Academy on Facebook, I have my own private group where women can get together and talk about dating and relationships. If you haven't joined, please go check it out. My question was, can you answer this quick relationship question? What's one thing that you've asked a man that you get really stumped about answering? I'm going to show you how to apply this formula. I haven't done these yet. It's brand new on my phone. Someone says her initials are DB. She said, what would you like from the grocery store? She says, if I would have known, I would have sent a list. So what would you like from the grocery store? So this man is kind enough to ask you, what do you want from the grocery store? Find your feeling. Does it feel good or bad that he's calling you to ask what you want from the grocery store? Please say it feels good. This man doesn't have to do that, remember? He doesn't have to be nice or kind. This is something he's doing just to be sweet to you. So I feel really good. It feels so sweet. Aw, it's so sweet that you want to pick something up from the grocery store. Do you need anything from the grocery store? Know your boundary. But I don't need anything. That's it. All right, that one was easy. Someone said her initials are SM. What do you want to do tonight? This is a good one because this is the man really putting you into the masculine energy role, and a lot of women really aren't comfortable with that. We want to see if the man can really get activated, and sometimes they're just really tiptoeing around it. So anyway, what do you want to do tonight? Find your feeling. If my husband were to ask me what do I want to do tonight, I would find my feeling. It's kind of been rainy here in North Carolina. It might feel good to cuddle up, be cozy, stay inside. So again, this is easy. That's what I feel in my body. I feel like just cuddling up and being cozy. Where we do it, I don't know. It could be at the movie theater. We could cuddle up and be cozy at one of our favorite restaurants, you know. I don't know. That's up to him. But that's what I feel. And you see how succinct that is? And then know my boundaries. My boundary is tonight, do I want to pop on a plane to Vegas? No. Do I want to go bowling? No. I know my boundaries. So just know your boundaries. This is part of being a goddess on a pedestal. So these are really easy. Now here's a good one. Her initials are EW. She says, what if he asks about my past and my exes? I feel awkward and I feel judged, yet I don't like hearing about these. Now in my book, I teach you exactly how to talk about exes. And again, this is a big one. Know your boundary. And I'm going to show you that example right now from 500 Ways to Talk to a Man. If a man is talking a lot about his ex, first thing you want to do is find your feelings. Most people say, well, I can hear about his ex. I'm okay with that. I'm mature. But do you really want to hear about his ex? Do you really want to hear all the garbage or the good and the bad? Do you really want to hear it? If the answer is no, which was my answer, I already know how I feel about hearing about exes. I don't want to hear about them. I don't want to know what your history was with them. I don't need to. I feel like stuff like that kind of infects my inner boy energy, and it affects me emotionally, and I begin to use it in my life, and I don't want to do that. It starts to mess with my psychology. So find your feelings. So I feel really icky hearing about an ex. Opposite of icky, maybe I'm a little curious. Maybe there's some part of me that wants to know. But when I think about that curious part, I feel kind of icky. You see? So I'm able to spin it to something a little more warm with I'm curious. So, one part of me feels really curious about hearing about your ex, but another part of me just feels icky. I'm pretty sure. Know my boundary? It would feel so much better if we could just talk about us tonight. What do you think? Or I'd be happy to talk about anything else. You see, I'm knowing my boundary. I'm not here to listen to about your ex, all right? Now this one comes from initials RL. Oh, I find it difficult when texts get sexual. They're not disrespectful, but to find the correct response, I find it difficult when he's being negative or feeling sorry for himself, also known as guilting you. I want to soothe that wound, which I know would be masculine energy. So I don't know really how he has a wound and talking about sex with you is supposed to heal him. This might be just some clever guilt, and surprise lady, men do guilt us. They can very subtly guilt us. And it's not that they're bad guys. It doesn't mean that they're doing anything wrong. This is really how a man tests us for our quality as a woman. So it's almost like if you're being tested in this way, that means he's really looking more closely at getting to know you better and seeing if you're wife quality, if you're long-term partner quality. So when a man sends you something sexual and you're just like, oh, what do I do with this? Let's say he said, oh, I'd really like to come over and give you a massage tonight. And you don't even really know the guy. Well, those are just words. We don't really know if he's really going to come over and give you a massage tonight because remember, you know your boundaries, right? There's no way in heck this guy's coming over and giving me a massage tonight. There's no way I'm sending him a topless photo. Whatever it is, know your boundaries. So let's find your feelings. So if a man had texted me and said, hey, can I come over and give you a massage and I don't know him? Well, I do like massage. It would feel nice, so I'm going to spin it to warmth. But I don't know you. And that part feels a little weird. That feels a little uncomfortable to me. And I know my boundaries. So you see how you could work this out? Well, wow, massage sounds really nice. You're spinning it to warm. Yet, it'd feel lovely to meet for coffee first sometime. What do you think? I'm knowing my boundaries. All right, let's move on to the next one. Initials BB said, when I'm spending time alone or relaxing and ask, can I go get lunch and bring it to his workplace and other errands, it's just like because I'm off or free doesn't always mean I want to run around for you. Well, amen to that. So the first thing would be, knowing your boundaries. Honey, having lunch with you would feel lovely. I'm spinning it to warmth. Having lunch with you would feel so lovely today, but I'm just going to stay at home and get caught up in some laundry. Okay? He says, baby, can you run this errand for me? You're home today. Can you run this errand for me? And you do not want to do it. Okay? How does it feel that he's asking you to run an errand for him and he knows you just worked a 12-hour shift at the hospital, for example? So, wow, I feel exhausted. I feel so tired and I feel angry. You're in that top layer of that parfait. I feel angry that you would even ask me that, all right? Because I know how women think. I know how we feel. I am one. So instead of just saying, I'm so angry at you, can't you understand that I've been working all day too and I don't want to go run your errand? So instead of popping off, which is often our just, innate tendency, it's really our inner boy sticking up for us. You want to find your feeling. I'm feeling exhausted. I'm feeling tired. And what would you like? Spin it to warmth. Well, later tonight it would feel good to cuddle. Or later tonight, we could maybe run errands together and get a bite to eat. Spin it to something warm, okay? So, I feel so exhausted. It would feel so lovely to get together later tonight, though. But right now, I'm just going to stay at home and finish reading my book. That's it. 1, 2, 3. All right, ladies, so this is going to wrap up this edition of Adrienne Everheart at the Whiteboard. If you haven't seen my other whiteboard videos, please go ahead and check them out. They should be in this playlist or somewhere else in my YouTube feed. And as always, please subscribe to me, leave me a comment in the comments section, or visit me over at everheartcoaching.com. I have lots of books and online courses that will help you with any relationship or dating problem you may be experiencing. And definitely, I will be the person to teach you how to access your feminine energy and use it at work, in your relationship with your children, wherever you need to use it. I look forward to teaching you more. All right, much love. Bye.